You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
And hopefully I'll be joined by Shanice here in a little bit. It is time for Minute To Skim It, so that means that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do the sharing. Hit that like, hit that share, so that way all of us can be here. Sharing is caring, from what I hear. Anywho, my snack today is the Cheez-It Snaps. We're not, what is the word I'm thinking of? We're not funded by my snack people. I just like to eat snacks. This one's the cheddar and sour cream. And what I like about these is they're pretty much chips.
Sponsored. We're not sponsored.
Thank you. Hello, Cool Gamer. Welcome in. So I read a lot of books today. I read 10 books, I think. And so there's some thick books this week. Thick books. What should I talk about first? I'm talking about Wildstorm. So this is Wildstorm, the 30th anniversary special. It is 100 pages. It has 12 stories. I didn't quite get a chance to read all of them, but I read like a majority of them. So let's see. Oh, and there is a note at the beginning of it from Jim Lee about what it was like for him to start this 30 years ago, which I had completely forgotten. I feel so bad. So the first story is called Death Blow. It's about Michael Cray and his time during the war as an assassin. The second one is Generation Millennial. All I have to say is gluten is bad, apparently, to superpowers. Metallica Batman shirt. So here, let me. Waka! Yes, I like to show off my shirts sometimes. Third story was called Stormwatch. It begins in 1918 with a letter from Jenny to Jenny about how she's going to live for 1 year because Jenny has this thing where every century it's a new Jenny. They get 100 years. And then it goes into 1999 in North Carolina where Jenny is saying things like, do the stuff. Yes. Hello, Slipknot. Hey, Pablo. Welcome in. And then, the fourth story is called The Only Constant. And it kind of felt like a chit chat between, all the higher ups. They're like, oh, the higher ups told us that we need to do this, we need to do that. It kind of felt like it was the higher ups having a conversation. I was like, oh, that's the higher ups. Well, good for you. The fifth one was called Backlash. And that one I put a tagline of training is fun. The sixth one was Better Days. So it's one hero going into a diner to hang out with his hero friends, but then he's also like flash forwarding, like that was a flashback, but now he's like in the now. Must be based on the Ride the Lightning. Nice, thank you. Thumbs up. And the last thing he gets to say is maybe a next time. Maybe there will be a next time. He doesn't know. I don't know. We don't know. And then the seventh one was called Wetworks, and I didn't get a chance to read the rest of them from that. It was just, there are a lot of annuals this week. A lot of annuals. Like I said, it's 100 pages, and each 12 different stories. Each story is done by a different artist, different letters, different writers, different colorists. So it's a whole team for each one. And I think almost all of them say to be continued in another story, or it was like part of another story. But you could definitely like go and like read it without feeling super lost, because it was a really good, kind of gets a sort of like a flashback of everything Wildstorm for the last 30 years. Yeah, it was fun to me. But yeah, it was double-sided page. It was so many notes from me. A book I really, really liked. So I don't know if anybody else likes to read, has read Planet Hulk. I really like Planet Hulk, and this was really cool to see it, come back. There is the main story in there was a lot of fun. You got to see kind of what's going on, like presently on Planet Hulk, and there's this sort of like racism against the ones with green skin. And I think it's because they're blaming Hulk for kind of like what's going on. So everybody with green skin is kind of being like, yeah, it's yeah. But it was a fun story to read. The priestess that they have that's kind of like reaching the new religion that's going on in there is taking green children. And we see a sister and her 5-year-old brother are kind of like surviving out here. And then they get ambushed and they take her brother and knock her out. And so she goes to meet a certain somebody. It's not the Hulk, but it's a certain somebody who's like, hey, can you please help me? My grandma knew you and she told me great stories about you. And he's like, well, maybe that's me. So it's really cool. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And then the second story that they put in there, it feels like they're going to tie together, is about Scar, his son. So it says it, come back here, rude. So it says it right here. It says featuring him. They're back on Earth in present time, and he's there, and Aunt Jenny shows up, which made me have really flashes. I was like, who said that? Because that's what all my nieces and nephews call me. She was like, Aunt Jenny's here. And it's like, oh, goodness, She-Hulk. You can't surprise somebody like that. And Scar is just kind of being like, I don't think I belong here. I don't know what's going on. I can't really make any friends here. I just want to smash. And she's like, well, family is family and things and stuff and whatnot. So let's not do that. And then all of a sudden his like thing goes off. Look what it is. It is that is your chair. Why am I trying to steal your chair?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna see someone about a crown.
You should see her on a crown. Okay, Jenna's good.
Okay.
Did you miss me?
I did, yeah. So much.
Okay. And so like his little machine goes off that there's like an attack going. So he goes to find what's attacking people, and then he does, and it's actually a beast from his planet. And Scar makes friends. What is
The She Nom.
the she? 5 times. Oh, shut it. She doesn't know. You know that book that had the really, really, really long name last week?
No.
I'm not going to say it.
Oh, no, that's it here. I'm sorry.
It says something about Once Upon a Time.
Oh,
I'm not going to say the name again.
what was the name of it? Can you say it just for me? I didn't get a crown. That's 2 words.
Once upon a time, in the world, in a wasteland, love is a wasteland. Mama say, mama say, mama say. Hey, Macarena. All right.
It's like a Fall Out Boy title.
There. Are you happy? Well, anyways, let me tell you what happened. So Edward tricked me last week into saying it 5 times. One of the times he tricked me into saying it, he actually changed over to his fantasy football Facebook page.
Yeah.
This is Chad. I was like, hey, what is that book? And I said it, and he's like, gotcha. And I'm like, no! I even thought it was him at first. I was like, is this Edward? Edweird, whatever. All right, I've done 2 books. And now it's my snacks.
Right.
Snacks!
It's so funny for 2 books. Oh, gosh. So everything is like a blur, so I apologize for any review I do tonight that's like, what is she talking about?
She just got her tooth fixed.
Yeah. So I don't know if our producer wants to chime in because books. No.
Kenneth, hello.
Oh.
Edward is laughing at me right now.
Right, so I'll start with Justice Society of America. So I really liked it a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, I totally thought that I was that it was gonna come out next week, so it was a very pleasant surprise to read it today. So already it's my book of the week because it's got my girl Huntress in it. I will say that you do need to read the one shot that came out a week or 2 ago, the Golden Age.
2 weeks ago, and then last week was Stargirl.
Gotcha. So
They've all been leading up to this.
yeah, so definitely check
That's
out
why I'm
that.
now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Good story.
Good story.
Good story. I'm
But
excited.
definitely check it out. And especially if you're into the JSA, and I feel like JSA fans are really eating good this year with Black Adam and Stargirl. But yeah, really do love it. The mystery is like what happened to JSA and what happened to especially what happened to Dr. Fate. I don't want to go into too much details about this issue because there are some character introductions. You're just like, oh boy. But yeah, tomorrow please run to your local comic store and please pick up an issue. And Jenny need to read it so we can talk about it later.
My chip crackers are all broken.
I'm sorry. So
Another
one. Okay. So Blue Beetle graduation day.
Jealous.
Also, I'm sorry. I picked the two books that Jenna really wanted to read today. So
At least briskly walk.
Yeah, briskly walk, power walk. Blue Beetle graduation day. So I really liked it. The one thing though, so is and shame on me for not reading it, but the Dark Crisis events, you really do need to read it. Yes, we both saw it. We both dug it.
I loved it.
Loved it.
Especially that mid-credit scene.
But yeah, actually, I was trying to find a way I can tie that into here, but yeah, I would recommend reading Dark Crisis before you read this because they'll make a reference to something that happened in that event. That's like, oh well, whoops,
Whoopsie doodle.
But yeah, it's a fun all ages comic, and to kind of get you ready for the Black Beetle movie coming out next year if it does come out.
It better come out, or I'm gonna start a riot.
And Haley, like he's a really fun character. His cameo was awesome. Yeah, it was just a fun book because like he's graduating high school, so he's like every person who graduates, well, it's like, what am I going to do with my life after this? Like
College, or trade school, or community college,
right.
or save the world,
like like he does, but that doesn't pay the bills, depending on who you are, of course. So,
or the Deadpool sometimes does.
Yeah, but yeah, so basically it's he's graduating high school. He has that like crisis of like, what do I do with my life? And this is all going on. There's an invasion happening.
Rude.
Yeah, so he's going to report to the ringer. But it is a really fun introduction to the character, and it's a fun little miniseries. I'm excited to see what happens next.
So I'm gonna count this out for you guys. The 80-page books I read today. This one, that one was 100. This one and this one are all 80 pages with multi-stories in it. This one has 2 stories in it. This one had 3 stories in it. We had fun this week. Everybody was packing out. Wow, I totally read that. Yeah, that tracks. So I guess I can talk about another long book that I had. This one also had a bunch of stories in it. Let's talk about this one. Grifter got ran over by a reindeer. Hold on. How many stories did it have? It had a bunch of stories. As you see, I had many pages because I couldn't keep up with all the stories. Grifter is 80 pages with 8 stories in it. So the first one, it was a Superman Wonder Woman team up with Crypto is dressed up as a reindeer. Was so adorable. I want that as a shirt. Oh, okay. I'm good. I need it. I need Crypto as a reindeer on my shirt because not only is he a reindeer, but somebody else gets electrocuted and he starts having like visions and stuff like that of like seeing, like not visions, hallucinations. That's the word. And he's listening to the radio while it happens. And this radio is telling like haunted, scary stories of Christmas about a vampire bitten reindeer. And then he sees he sees Crypto dressed up as a reindeer. And his hallucination made him look all like fangs and like red eyes, and Crypto's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And you're just like, oh my goodness. It was adorable and I loved it. And there was an action sequence in it, and it was fun. The second one is Frankenstein versus a snowman.
Oh.
Just let that sink in just for a minute.
I'm trying.
So it's Frankenstein. The snowman has powers. He shoots lasers out of his bleeding eyes, and he shoots a hole through Frankenstein, and then Frankenstein like takes him out except for his head, and then the snowman's just like, please take me out. If you destroy my head, I'll never be able to come back together. And then Frankenstein's like, what if you just help me rebuild myself? And so they literally go across all of, not just the Justice League, but also some of like the like anti-heroes and some of the villains, and they all team up to make him whole. And then we end up like looking for his heart, and then they find it. But there's this epic sequence of things that happen, and then Frankenstein turns to the snowman. He's like, "No, you don't have to fight in this. This is my fight." And then the snowman's like, "No, I want to live now to help you." And you're just like, rude.
It was sad.
It was happy sad though. Like
Yeah.
the snowman turned good. Rude, so adorable. Hashtag rude. Thank you. All right, so the third one is Harley Quinn. It's called 8 Crazy Nights, and it opens up with her taking a stroll in the city, and there's a giant gingerbread man trying to take over the city, and she's like, "Nah, bruv." And she goes home to hang out with her hyenas, but then shenanigans happens, and she's like, "Look, no, it's my 8th night. I need to like relax at home." And then she has to like go do something, and she's really mad that she has to go do something. And then like the gingerbread man is still like stomping around, and she's like, "Nah, bro, I'm going home." Yes, it was happy sad though.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was happy sad. The fourth story. So the fourth one was kind of strange. It was very serious. Where so it opens up with Hawk Girl in the Capitol, Hawk Girl. Thank you. In the Capitol, saving this little girl, and then it flashes over to Hawkman saving said same little girl, and it just goes back and forth to them hanging out with the same little girl, and they can't remember how they got there.
See, I wonder if this is like a really like just super meta like funny thing about because like trying to explain to someone about a Hawkman's origins, it's so complicated and unconvoluted. I wonder if that's like a.
I think it was like it's a full story all right there. It explains it at the end what exactly was happening. But at the same time, the explanation made me want to just do a group hug. Just a group hug. I love all of you. Okay. The fifth story is Black Canary and Constantine, and literally everybody on the planet can only say dark side. She's like, dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side, dark side. So Constantine comes up with this idea to get the gods of punk involved. So they create a punk band, where it's Canary on vocals, him on guitar, and Cyborg on drums. And they're just yelling dark side, because that's all anybody can say on the planet is dark side. Goosh! And the gods of punk are like, "What's up, bruv? What you up to?" And he's like, "Yo, bruvs, if y'all don't be fixing things, Darkseid be taking over." And they're like, "What you mean, bruv? What you mean?" And he's like, "Listen to the lyrics. That's what's happening." And they're like, "Nah, bruv, we got you." That's very the attitude they were giving me that whole time. Bruv. That's the whole like attitude they were giving the whole time. And by the way, Gods of Punk. Who knew? I didn't know that DC had their own whole stadium of Gods of Punk.
Oh, I'm happy on that's funny. But
yes, that's great. Okay, so the next one in number 6, it's the 12 Days of Christmas with Batman, where he like is going through every single day having to take out a different villain. And I do have to say it was very creepy because they had Batman smiling in one of them. And there was a new character introduced in it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. I'll have to tell you who it is after this. But yeah, the 7th one is about Animal Man, and this one actually made me like almost tear up a little bit. What now? Yeah, okay. So this one, Animal Man recently lost his son in the main storyline, and so they sent the Justice League sent him out to go take care of some bad robots, and apparently the robot uses like a form in your memory that you won't fight. and it's his dead son that's calling out to him.
No.
Yeah, that was hard. And then he has to fight it, and then yeah. And then the last one is how Grifter steals Christmas across all of DC, not just the Justice League, not just the lake. He goes to the Batcave, he goes to the Justice Hall, he goes to the Hall of Villains. I forget what they're called in this one. So yeah, he just went across everywhere and was just like, I'm gonna steal Christmas. I'm like, okay, Grifter, calm down there. But yeah, that's that book.
So
It was fun.
it's just out of curiosity for people watching. So y'all say Constantine or Constantine?
Isn't it Constantine?
I've heard like both. I've heard it both ways here. I say it like that too.
John Constantine.
That's what I've always said. People say it's time. I don't know if I should trust these people.
It's however anybody wants to say it. They call him Constantine in the shows, but everybody else, just like it's Shang-Chi
Oh, Shang-Chi.
and it's Namor, it's
It is
Constantine.
It is Namor. Wait a minute. Am I saying it wrong? I wouldn't watch the movie. It's Namor.
Or because they said it like a Namor. They did.
Ships in the house. Hello.
I should.
The other one. Because like every single one of mine has like 4 or 5 stories to it. So please.
Gotcha. Okay, so Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. So this is actually my first Star Wars High Republic comic that I've read. So I really do
Namor.
No. So I really did appreciate how they have like in the beginning like a timeline of where this takes place, because I was very confused when they announced this whole thing. So I thought it was a cute Star Wars issue. I didn't think I would say that about Star Wars.
Well, usually the Dark Horse stuff is geared more towards kids, so the adventure stuff is geared more towards kids.
Yeah, which it's still tripping me out that it's like a Star Wars like Dark Horse comic again. But it's yeah, I thought it was really sweet. If you have any young ones or younglings who want to get into Star Wars comics,
do not put younglings in. Oh. Water break. Okay.
But yeah, it's about this character who's just totally bored of the Jedi way, wants to do their own thing, just super bored of it already. So it's like, okay, this is fine, but they just want to explore the universe, explore the galaxy, and a very interesting situation lands, like falls on their lap, and it's like, oh, this is totally like against what Jedi's normally do, but let's see what happens. Like I said, it's really
the
cute.
last time somebody went against the Jedi way, Order 66.
No, that doesn't happen.
Stabby cut.
But yeah, but yeah, that doesn't happen. There's no Order 66 in here, or pre-Order 66. But yeah, it's fun. Fun old age Star Wars book. Can't go wrong with it. Also highly recommend this week.
Trying to remember which ones I've talked about, because I forgot. There's like 12 ones in this one. There's 8 in this one. Yeah, there's 12 stories in this one. 100 pages. Okay, let's talk about this one. This is Superman Kal-El's Return, the special number 1. This one had, I think it was only 4 stories in this one. Hold, please. Do. Yeah, it only had 4 stories. So this is set after he's returned from Battle World, which is where they've kind of been recently in the main Superman series. So the first thing he does when he gets back is he's battling nobody with Batman, and all he wants is breakfast. I mean, if I've been off on Battle World,
Can y'all hear me? Y'all froze.
Comic Collectibles is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin' Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectibles with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at The Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox. Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
Oh, sorry. Hi, welcome back. We were talking about Shanice's new tooth. I don't understand it. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
I was going to play your intro, but then Jay just put you back on screen just cold.
Well, we were just talking about teeth. It's okay.
Well, I mean, I was talking about how you were Amish, so it's okay.
We have 30 minutes and a lot of books, so... Okay, Mr. Nobody, he just wants breakfast. I think I already talked about. The second one is Jimmy Olsen. He's going around taking pictures. Superman comes back, and he's like, oh, that's just my friend. You don't have to worry about it, because, you know, he's in a fighter pilot, like, jet, and the jet's like, what is that? It's a person. It's Superman. So Superman and Jimmy are going around the world taking pictures of Superman doing awesome things, and this is where it gets really meta. So everybody knows Action Comics, number one, like Superman doing that pose, holding up the car, right? He takes that picture. Jimmy takes that picture, and he's like, I don't think this will work. He gives it back to Superman. And then there was another one where it's like a really famous Superman cover, and I can't remember which one it is now. But he's like, I don't think this one will work either, and he gives that one. So you just see Superman holding these two pictures of like super famous like covers.
Yeah.
And him just being like, I was like, no, yay.
I love that.
Yeah. The third one is kind of how his son John is becoming Superman. And he's just like, I'm never going to be just like you. But Soups is like, well, that's okay. You don't have to be me. You can just be you. And also, oh, no, nope, that's part of that one. Quick question. Everybody knows Superman is bulletproof, right? Everybody knows Superman is bulletproof. He's been bulletproof forever, right? So why do people keep trying to shoot him?
I don't know.
That's my question. And then the fourth one, Soups comes into the Justice Hall, and he's talking about he's coming back from Battle World, and he's like, I've realized that home isn't a place, it isn't a single person, it isn't just like a single thing. It is a home is not just your family, it's where you belong. Home is where the heart is pretty much what he was saying. Because home is not just one place, and it's just like, oh, why adorable. Yeah.
So I remember someone made a comment about Superman about like how some of his best stories usually have him just not throwing like one single punch.
Yeah.
And from what I gathered of how you talked about it, it's like he's such a good person.
Yeah.
He's such a wholesome, warm character. Like
All he wanted was breakfast.
Yes.
Well, I'm having mine now. Ah, okay, continue. Sorry.
That's the thing reason why people still sleep. Yeah, that's true.
I don't understand. I don't get it. All right, Shanice, what's next?
Well, I think technically you're Shanice. I'm because of the.
Oh my gosh, the names are backwards.
So please bear with me. I've only played Magic the Gathering twice in my life.
Does
No,
that
sorry,
mean I
3
have
times in my
really
life.
long, awesome hair if I'm Shanice?
I've only played Magic the Gathering 3 times in my life. So I was very lost when I read this book, and I don't know why I read this book to me. It wasn't bad. It's just have you ever played Magic? Okay, so
good.
yeah, so
I've always wanted to. I just work too much.
yeah, because I love like the art on the cards. But yeah, it was just one of those things. It's like, man, I kind of wish that I was a big fan of the game, because I would have appreciated this a lot more. So I don't feel.
I do like the show. Vox.
Oh, that's a program.
That's right. That's right. D&D. I'm sorry, not Magic.
That is a good show though. So I don't feel like 100% comfortable like giving it like a review like either way.
How was the art?
The art is gorgeous.
How was the story?
The art is fun.
There
So
we
yeah,
go.
but if you're a Magic fan, obviously play it. But if you're not into
Play
Magic, yeah, read it. Play the game and then read it.
I think us losing internet for a whole minute there kind of
Made us
riled
friends.
us.
Yes.
Give us the old razzle.
Art was good.
Razzle
Story is good.
dazzle.
Just
Yeah.
appreciate it more if you like play Magic.
Okay, let me think. This book. I loved this book. It does come with a warning at the beginning of it. It's called My Bad. This is volume 2, number 1. It comes with a warning. The very first page is one giant blue page, right? And it gives a warning. And Jay will probably remember the warning a little bit better because I showed it to him. But it says, people who handled this book at the blue dye in this book handled at the factory, 5 people died. And I was just like, is this a joke? Like, okay, so blue is bad. Got it. Blue is bad. So it opens up. We have all these superheroes. Most of them have retired. And there's an assassin dressed up as a pizza man, but not in the way that you think it is. Like, it's a full man, right? And he's holding a giant stack of pizzas. He's not going to like pizza. And he's like, I didn't order pizza. And then it opens and there's a dude and he shoots them. And that's all in the first 2 pages.
Huh.
Yeah. So, and then the assassin goes home and he takes off the top half. And I'm like, how did you move like everything? Like when your head and stuff was in the pizza boxes. But okay. But it's 3 stories in here. Hold on. Where did I put it? I wrote it down. I know I did. I always do. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's retired superheroes. Also, Pizza's dude is like so rude. Like all they wanted was that. Like the other 2 superheroes he took out, all they did was want pizza because they ordered pizza. Who kills somebody by delivering pizza? Leave food alone. Leave food alone. Don't kill people that are hungry and wanting food. That's all I've got to say. Another story in it was there's a dating app now where people are matched based off of the superheroes. And this one superhero is named Karen. And she was in high school at the time that Karen became synonymous with Karen. And she was like, I want to teach people that Kieran is not a bad thing. And since my family's billionaires, when I was 18, my dad bought out a whole Tibetan monk village, and I trained there for 10 years. And then I came back over here. I started saving people. And then she goes straight into a phone call of, I just bought some sushi from your place, and it tasted like fish. I was like, so Karen is acting very. Karen,
Is that her right there?
yes.
Hold
hold on. Let's get a. What does it say? That needs to be a bumper sticker. Leave food alone. So that's Karen, right there. But also, she's going on a first date with another dude, and they jump out of a plane for funskies. And then the third story, there's a retired dude who accidentally killed like a villain's like sidekick long ago, and he still like hates himself for it. Well, anyways, the actual villain shows up to his house. He's retired, and the villain shows up to his house, and he's just like, look, I'm so sorry. And he like puts on his suit like thing, and he's like, I've got enough of a burst to do one burst. And he does, and he misses, and he sets the house on fire, and he's like, gosh, I'm terrible. And the villain's just like running after him. He's like, hold on a minute. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know your dude had asthma, and I accidentally killed him. And the guy's like, no, don't worry. He was annoying. Can I just give you money for your suit? And he's like, but the suit doesn't work. And it tumbles from there. So that's the 3 stories in my bad. I really liked it. I had fun with that book. Yeah. Power, murder, love. That's exactly how that goes. The reason he wants the suit is amazing. I can't wait for you guys to read it to be like, oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I don't know how to tell. So
it was good.
So Spider-Man Double Trouble, and now that I look at the cover, I love how like the Double Trouble. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but that's with like Peter and. It was a good book. It was a good book to check out today because he needs something just really sweet, cute, adorable, funny, and it seems like quite a few books this week seem to fit that description as well.
So you guys froze for like 5 seconds.
Oh.
So could you go back just a little bit and just retell your thoughts on the book?
Oh yeah, for sure. The book, it's really sweet, really cute. If you know of anybody who's like, hey, do you have any good, Miles, Peter team-up books? There you go. I want to say it's a follow-up to a previous series because I swear there was a Double Trouble a couple years back. I think
it was Double Trouble with Venom and Spider-Man.
There you go. So yeah, if you've read that, because I remember it because it was like a fun team-up.
Yeah.
So it's really goofy and silly, and sometimes like you need books like that, just something that's not super serious. And with how everything is right now in the world, you need something light to read, just to check out and have fun with it. I wish there was a superhero named Karen in this book.
I mean,
but
she goes by Lindsay outside of her, heroes.
I'm sorry, Miss Lindsay.
Lindsay.
But if you want a fun Spider-Man book, this is one to definitely check out. And I would love to see a live action version of this at some point in my life. It's so cute.
It's so cute. Okay, so that was apparently really cute and adorable. Let's get into something very serious.
There we go.
So this is Saga of the Doomed Universe #1. It's going to be a 3-part series. It's a really thick book. I want to say it was like a 50 or 60-page book. See, it's like the premium thick book. And Saga of the Doom. So this is based literally from 1984, and it literally reads like a book from 1984. It has a lot of exposition to get you caught up with all the stuff that did happen before. Mm-hmm. And I do have to say, this book mainly felt like a breakup book because there is a breakup going on in it. And that's one way to break up with somebody. Like, what happened apparently before was our main hero masked, because his initials is MC. So I was like, main character. Because it is kind of meta in this book where they're talking about, like, yo, you're wearing a whole lot of trademark. You're wearing a whole, like, your whole costume is screaming trademarked. like, can we use this? And then they're like, yeah. So the masked dude, main character. Like, it was very, like, but it was also very serious at the same time. And, oh gosh, I know I put his name in here somewhere. I know that yet. Maybe. Anywho, so it was really good. I liked it. And the fact that they had, you know, all kinds of stuff going on in there. And, so what happened was the main person that we're talking about was engaged to the dude before he got, like, taken out by the main villain back in 1984. And then she started dating said main villain after he, like, kind of forced her into, like, the first couple of dates, and then she fell in love with him. And then she found out what he did to her former fiance, and then, like, tumble. And I'm like, that is one way to break up. Like, that is a whole way to break up.
Yeah.
That is, and she is mad because she joined the villainy because she fell in love with the main villain, and then finding out the things that he did to, you know, old Boo, being like, that's one way to break up. That's all I can say about that one.
Yeah, I love how, you know, I had like, oh, this book is super cute. You're like, this book is dark.
This book got dark and fast. Okay. I think I have 3 books left.
Okay.
4 books left.
2 more.
Okay. Yeah, I can do another one. Batgirls 2022 Annual of Batgirls. The reason it has this is because this is the only one that we got in. There's only one story in this, but it's a crazy story. So these are the 2 Batgirls. These are the 2 Batgirls that are there. They're hanging out. They're doing Batgirl things together, and then they go to, like, they're back at the apartment, watch movies, eating popcorn, being adorable. And then so this one just went on her first date with a dude that she really likes, and she's, like, talking about it to said other one, and the other one's like, oh man, I wish I could feel like that. And she's like, why don't we make a wish? Because they've had a few drinks. And they take out a coin and they flip the coin. I wish that I could feel what she feels. And it lands on its, you know, mid side. It doesn't land on either side. It just lands and, like, rolls. And you're like, oh no. 7 hours later, 6 or 7 hours later, they wake up in each other's bodies. And I thought it was so adorable because she shows up in her apartment in a giant panda onesie.
Yay, go Stros.
Gosh, it was nice. So, and then, you know, they're like, okay, well, let's go over to Oracle. And Oracle is all like, are you guys doing this because I just moved back here? And they're like, mm. And what's funny is they did that in sync in the comic.
Yeah.
Where she's like, are you doing this because of this? Mm-hmm. Did you really switch bodies? Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh, that's adorable. And then, you know, people get kidnapped after that. So it's a lot of fun. And then stuff.
I'll say once again, it goes away. It's super fun. Then dark.
Yeah, it did. It did. Should I do one more?
So I got 3 more. Bye.
Oh, okay. You go ahead then.
So Nightwing Annual. So many annuals. Yay.
Yes, we had a lot of animals.
So I did. Again, I do apologize for, like, these last 3 reviews because they seem rushed because I was rushing trying to read it. You find out more about this dude on the cover, and he freaks me out so much. like, oh my gosh. Like, just what he does. Like, do you see that gun? He rips hearts out. That is terrifying.
Oh my god, you can see it too. Hold on, let me see. So you see his little gun right there, and then look at their bodies. Oh no. It kind of feels like the alien chest burster where you're just like, oh
yeah, dude, like, it's
no, not yet. I'm gonna do that soon.
Yeah, I'm get to this so we can do that one.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, dude, like, easily one of my favorite, like, antagonists in a while because it's so weird.
So weird. Oh.
But yeah, again, like, Nightwing, it's, you know, still killing it. If you're not reading Nightwing, shame on you. You need to read
like
it.
The whole chest bone and ribs just
busted.
Ooh, no.
Because again, like a trend, it goes from super funny to super dark really fast.
Actually, I think I kind of want to save that one for last. So I think I've got 3 books. Okay. This was the 2022 annual for Detective Comics. This is set in 1774. So what happened? Actually, so the beginning of it is present day, and they're just like, you don't know the like history of Gotham, and we go back to 1774 is what I want to say it was 1776. I'm sorry, 1776. And we kind of get to see like all of our favorite characters, but based in 1776. We get to see Poison Ivy, we get to see Batman, we get to see Two-Face, we get to see kind of a Ra's al Ghul. I think that one character is going to become. I'm not sure yet. And it's all because of what's happening in Detective Comics right now. This is a like history, like it's a side story for something that is actually happening. Where they're just like the bats and all of these people are part of the bloodline of Gotham. So no matter what kind of Gotham we make, he gonna be there. So it looks like it is looking like they're gonna like set up for like a complete reset of what's about to happen there, like a just redo, because they're destroying the city all the way down to its bloodlines, like it's like deep downness, and we're just gonna have to see what happens from there. This was a really good setup. And you get to see Batman before he's Batman. They called him the Drifter, where you just kind of like drifted from town to town. And then a random stranger picks him up to help him drift to the next town. And he's like, bro, do what you feel like you need to do. And he's like, okay, I'm Batman now. It's like, there you go.
So the main, well, I guess it's still the main storyline. So Ron V's Detective Comics, it has like this kind of like gothic horror vibe to it.
Yeah.
Is this also?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
For sure. For sure. And then getting to see Poison Ivy becoming Poison Ivy that way in 1776, because a lot of the stuff that made her Poison Ivy nowadays doesn't exist back then. So like, and they called her a witch, but she's like, I ain't no witch. I'm communing with nature, but I'm green now. But you know, things.
Make the plants rise. I'm a witch though.
Oh, whatever's. No corn for you. All right.
So Blush. This is one that
I was
Jenna
excited about
was gonna shake me over. So
I had so much.
So good news is
I got Grandma Chainsaw, so that's okay.
So hey, violence, woo, blood.
Lots of it.
So her good news is I definitely need to reread it because I didn't get a chance to. I got like halfway through it. So I definitely got to finish it up. I know. And I felt bad. Like, man, Jenna really weeks too. Don't stab me. But
from my there's a camera there.
You need
There's a camera.
No.
Oh,
I know. I'm doing that.
Yes.
And the camera's saving me right now.
Yes,
Oh Jesus.
So glad I have a show as soon as this one ends too.
I will compliment your eyebrows again. But yeah, it gave me big Hotline Miami vibes. Just with the colors and the blood, and I'm kind of tempted to make like a playlist.
Oh my
god, this comic just
I would listen to it.
Sweet. But yeah, I would totally love to talk about it again. But I think I was in the right headspace to read something quite like this right now.
Especially since they were, putting something in your mouth.
Yeah, drilling in my mouth. So now I do. Okay. Grandma Chainsaw.
Grandma Chainsaw was my favorite book this week. For Source Point, this is a new number 1. This was a Kickstarter that our store got. I know a lot of they did do a retailer incentive, so there should be quite a few retailers out there. So definitely try and give them a call because it is supposed to be going through Source Point Press. Now that Source Point Press has picked up the whole team of Alan and
Alan Dunford, Will Radford, Dave Lentz, Brian Bellondo, and Jason Smith.
Thank you. I don't know why I blanked out their names, which is funny because, Alan and Will, we talk to them all the time. Why did I blank out his names? He's going to be so mad at me. Anywho, so we have Grandma Chainsaw. It was so good. There is 4 kids that are out in the woods, driving, and then they need to stop for gas, and they're like, hey, how do we get back to the main road? And this, older dude's like, "Grr." And they're like, okay, bruv, whatevs. So they start going that way, and then he disappears. He just vanished, and I'm like, okay, so there's a supernatural element to this, not just murder. Got it. And so right in front of Grandma's house, the tire blows. So they all like grandma's like, oh, come on in, you can use my phone. Manners. I'm like, oh. It's because they're all sitting at a table and somebody's like, I don't know what's going on. And she's like, get your elbows off the table. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And then she accidentally puts her elbows back on the table and she's like, what did I say? And I'm like, Grandma, your skin's coming off. My, what lots of skin you have. And she like pulls her skin. It just pulls it into place. And you're just like, that is terrifying. And then, she's like, okay, well, the first room on this side and the other room on this side, that's where you guys can stay tonight. And the kids are not kids, teenage, whatever. It's like early 20s, like kids are, not quite like they're chit chatting. You know what kids do right before bed? They chit chat. I do the same thing. Chit chat. I may have watched Kung Fu Panda recently again. Anywho, so they're chit chats. They're actually saying kind of like nasty things about the grandma and rude. She gave them food, even though her dentures fell into it. She gave them free food. She brought them in. Exactly. That's why nobody ate. And then one was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then the next thing we know, she's dead. And she's just hanging up on the wall with her arms cut off, shoved into her chest, saying arms off the table.
Wow.
And then they all start running. People die at the fair. And then there's a group of people. And I really want one of the group of people that show up. I really want him to die horribly. I don't know how to describe this character without it sounding like terrible.
He is
very medieval. He's like, oh, she doth be betrothed to me now that I have saved her. Who are you? And the chick's like, that is my brother. And he's like, oh. And then the chick's like, I'm gay. And he's like, oh, doth thou like the sheath rather than the sword? And you're just like, I really want this guy to just be like,
I hate him so much.
I do too.
I hate him so much, but I
He's
love
supposed
him
to
at
be
the
a hero,
same
but I
time.
hate him.
Yeah. Think neckbeard incel.
Yeah,
The
that's
door
exactly.
wearing neckbeard incel. This book is so great.
Yeah.
Yes, Edward, you should definitely get it.
You have to get it. Anyway, so that was my favorite book of the week. The heroes that are probably going to take out this supernatural killer grandma seem like I hate them more than the killer grandma. And I don't ever really get to say that about villains and like heroes in that kind of like perspective. And I don't know who to root for. Yes, Hazel will be an icon. I've actually got a special. This was the special Kit Wallace cover, which that is similar to what she looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I need everybody to read this. Everybody needs to pick it up. Everybody needs to read it. And then go find Alan and Will and scream at them. Give us more now.
Politely.
No.
Politely.
No, not for Alan. Not for Alan.
Oh no. Okay.
Just say, Jenna told me to scream at you that we need more now. And he'll be like, okay, got you. All right, fire runs. You got one more. I got one more. All right.
Okay. So Avengers Assemble Alpha. Sometimes you just need big, fun, crazy, over the top Saga stories with like with a big team. And darn it, here it is.
I have one too.
So it's fun. So I'm glad that this is our final books each.
Yeah.
You just have it reminds you why that you love superhero comics to begin with. Just big, just fun stories of all these characters. I'm also really biased because my boy's in here, Robbie. So yay. If you're looking for an Avengers comic to pick up, just to have fun, just kind of turn your brain off a little bit, there it is.
All right, and then my last one was Nubia and the Justice League special #1. I was surprised I only got one of these. Anyways, so this is about the Justice League. So Nubia is fighting with Black Canary and Green Arrow in Star City. Not Star City. Which city is the one that Arrow is from? Anyways, they're fighting there, and she's like, "They're doing great, yay! I like hanging out with them." And then they go back to the main Justice League. They're all chilling and hanging out, and then so I know Nubia has the love of her life on the mascara with her and her girlfriend, like they are the love of each other's lives. But if Nubia ever becomes single, I ship her with Martian Manhunter because of this comic.
Oh.
So it is definitely, if you they have an understanding of each other where it's like they both come to this world and it feels very alien to them, because she ends up going to Metropolis and she's like, it just feels weird having all this metal and glass. And he's like, I totally get it. And then they're fighting with each other and they're just like perfectly in sync with each other. Like, I either need them to love each other or be the bestest of friends and hook each other up. Like, that's what I need between Martian Manhunter and Nubia because of this comic. Like, if any supervillain ever hurts Nubia in any way, Martian Manhunter would burn them alive, and you know that's a fact. Like, they seem like they're either best friends, like, they're going to be the bestest of friends. Bestest. And I love it. And so this is basically Nubia trying to figure out if she wants to be part of the Justice League, if she wants to stay in man's world, or if she wants to go back to be queen. Because she is queen no matter what. But does she want to take up the role of queen home, or does she want to be queen in the Justice League? Like, it was fun to read, and I couldn't believe that I'm walking away with a new, like, shipping as best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
Okay. Whereas, like, if these two aren't, like, at each other's future weddings, or, you know, like, hanging out in the car because they have a spa day together and that made me so happy. Like, I need that more.
Also, here's the thing that she's, like, it's her 50th anniversary.
Yes, this was also, it's her 50th anniversary special. It's right there in the bottom corner. Do you see it? Yes. Haha. Even Wonder Woman shows up and is like, my queen, are you sure you don't want to hang out with us some more? And she's like, bruh, maybe. So yeah, there were a lot of books. A lot of annuals came out this week. A lot of specials came out this week. A lot of anniversaries came out this week. Definitely check them out if you get a chance. A few number ones from indies came out. Yeah.
She always makes me happy. I always love seeing number ones from indies.
For sure. And then if your comic book store, your LCS doesn't get something in, just ask them if it's orderable. It may or may not be, just because we do still have shortages and things going on in the industry. Please be patient with us. Please don't yell at us. We love you. Hearts. That's been Shanice. I've been the Jenna. Bye.